Hey guys, it's Robyn, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back and welcome if you're new. Today I have got a pretty exciting video. It is the Bring Back My Bar warm reviews. These are coming out January 1st at midnight. So right at midnight when you ring in the new year, these will be available. They will be available in bundle and save. The one thing to keep in mind here is that there is at least one licensed bar here. There's two actually, Twitter Pated and the Buzz Lightyear to Infinity and Beyond. Those are licensed, so they cannot be bundled with the other bars. They have to be bundled with other licensed bars, but you can still bundle them. So there's those. We will go through all 25 scents here. There are a lot. It's probably going to be a longer video, so you might want to grab a drink. If you're only here to find a couple different reviews for different scents, I am going to go through after I upload this and try to, along the bottom here where your little like play thing is, I'm going to try to put little tags for the different scents. So if you're looking for a certain review for a certain scent, check along the bottom here, along your little like play line, and see if you can find the tag for that scent. Because if you're only looking for one scent and you don't want to sit through the whole video, you can look down there. So I will do that once the video is uploaded, and then you don't have to watch the whole video unless you want to. So I got these a few weeks ago. It was, I think, earlier in December, early to mid-December I got these. It's been a while warming them. It's taken me longer to warm them than usual because it has been the holidays, so I've been enjoying all of my normal festive scents. So I started warming these when I received them. I've been taking notes so I don't forget how they did. So I do have notes to refer to, and yeah, we'll just get going. I'm not going to do these in any particular order. I'll just grab and go. So that's where the thing at the bottom is going to be helpful. So if you're looking for a specific scent, look there. We'll start with Blood Orange Spice. This one I did a little while ago. The notes on this one are, this sweet tart trio of candied apple, blood orange puree, and cinnamon stick will satisfy your autumn obsession. So this one I recall really liking, and this is one that I will be repurchasing. So Blood Orange Spice, what did I write down here? I put, it's kind of vaguely bubblegummy and spicy. It does have kind of like a spicy bubblegum tone to it. Nostalgic in some way and familiar. I said it's pleasant and would be one I'd keep on hand for a day when I want something spicy and comforting but sweet. So 6 or 7 in strength in my open layout, so pretty good strength. I recall this being a 1-dayer, so about 24 hours, which is about what average is. So I would say an average performer, maybe slightly better than average in strength. Open layout worthy for my open layout. And yeah, this one is, oh, I like this one. It kind of reminds me of that bubblegum you would get that was like a roll, and you would roll it out and it was like a tape measure of bubblegum. It smells a little bit like that kind of bubblegum with like some cinnamon. It's just good. Like, this is just nostalgic and familiar and kind of cozy because of the cinnamon. It's just very pleasant and hard to describe, except that it smells like that bubblegum that would come in a roll with some cinnamon added to it. And it's like a red hot cinnamon, but not overpowering in any way. It's very pleasant. I actually really like this. I can see how it might not be for everyone, and it wouldn't be for every day for me, but it's one where when you're in the mood for this kind of scent, you're in the mood for it. One that it kind of reminded me a bit of, not that it smells like it in any way, but it just kind of reminded me of the mood of the scent, was Boho. Boho was a little bit more grown up than this, but kind of a nostalgic, comforting, potpourri type scent. And this is nostalgic and comforting and a little bit potpourri-ish as well, but just a little bit more kid-friendly, I think, with the bubblegummy tone. And again, it's not supposed to smell like bubblegum. There's no bubblegum in this, but to my nose, it definitely reads bubblegummy. But in like a really fun way. So I will be getting a few more bars of this to put away, probably 3 bars, but I really like that one. I think if you like slightly spicy scents or very nostalgic, kind of like 90s type scents, this would be one to try. Next up, we have Toasted Caramel Sugar, and this is one I did fairly recently. This one is warm milk with caramelized sugar and toffee, all swirled together with the scent of silky sweet vanilla musk. So warm milk, caramelized sugar, and toffee with vanilla musk. Now this one I also really liked. Yes, this one to my nose is mostly caramelized sugar. It does have some creaminess. Don't be scared by the milk note. On warm and on cold even, I don't really get milk. Milk can be a scary note, and I don't get that. This is just a slightly creamier, smooth, caramelized sugar type scent. I'm not really getting on cold or warm the musk. It is kind of a very much what you smell is what you get. It's the same on warm as it is on cold. Caramelized sugar. It was pleasant. Let me see what I wrote down. So for Toasted Caramel Sugar, I put it was a medium strength in the open layout, but not very long lasting. It did about 9 hours in total before it needed to be changed. So that is definitely less than average for longevity, but a medium strength. Same smell on warm as on cold. Not as strong as I expected based on the cold sniff. So on cold, this smelled fairly strong, like maybe a 7 out of 10. So not as strong as I expected. Smelled like caramelized sugar. Yeah, so that's what it was. So maybe not as great of a performer as average, but again, it is a bakery. It's a vanilla, brown sugar type scent. These tend to age fairly well, so it may do better with some age. It's kind of just a classic caramelized sugar scent. I like it. I may grab another bar or two of it. I think it's worth trying if you like bakery scents. I also think this could be really fun to tuck aside for like summer mixes, to do like a boardwalk type mix with maybe like a strawberry scent or like a waffle cone type scent. I think this could be fun for that kind of thing. So toasted caramel sugar, I liked. I'll probably repurchase a bar or two. Next up, we have Crazy Coconut. This was from the kids collection at one time. This is coconut milk, mixed fruit, and vanilla ice cream. Yum. So coconut, mixed fruit, and vanilla ice cream. So this one I did 2 cubes in my daughter's bedroom. And yeah, on cold, this one is kind of an earthy coconut. Quite earthy, actually. With definitely some sweet fruitiness. But mostly it is that kind of toasty, earthy coconut. And on warm, that is mostly what came through. And on warm, my daughter and I didn't care for this. It's one we actually took out of the warmers. So I think the thing here was that the sweet fruit note was reading a little bit cloying almost, because the coconut here doesn't go with sweet fruit to my nose. The coconut here is deep and earthy, and that isn't my favorite kind of coconut personally, but that coconut can work in certain scents. But when you have that deep kind of earthy, toasty coconut mixed with this kind of very high-pitched sweet fruit scent, it came across just not quite right. It wasn't meshing. We weren't a fan. I can't tell you longevity because we only left it in for maybe 12 hours. And I would say it was like a 4 or 5 out of 10 in strength in her room, so around a medium, so around average strength. And longevity, I'm not sure, but we didn't care for this one. This was not a winner for us. I think if you're a fan of that toasty, it's the same kind of coconut as in like coconut palm. And I feel like in coconut palm, this coconut does better because there's no sweet fruit scents competing with it. I think it's just the way those two notes are mixing for us that didn't work. But I think if you like that toasty, earthy coconut note, you may enjoy this. I think if you're really into coconut scents, this might be worth trying. But if you're not into that particular earthy, toasty coconut note, this one might be a pass. So that is Crazy Coconut. It was not for us, but performance was around average in strength. Next, we have Buzz Lightyear to Infinity and Beyond. This one is blast off to a galaxy of endless imagination where fizzy orange and black currant are cosmically balanced with plum blossom and sugared raspberry. So fizzy orange, black currant, plum blossom, and sugared raspberry. This one we really liked. I did 2 cubes of this. Was it 2? Yeah, 2. 2 cubes in our bedroom. We love this. Yes. This one smells like clean laundry, but not in that floral way. Not in like a floral line-dried cotton way. This is clean laundry in like a fruity, fresh dryer sheets kind of way. You know how laundry smells when you use like fruity, fresh dryer sheets or fruity, fresh laundry liquid? When you first take it out of the washing machine and it's still wet, before you put it in the dryer and it gets all powdery, you take it out, it's still wet, it's kind of fresh and clean smelling. That's what this is. And I don't really get the notes in the scent description. I'm not getting that. I'm getting this very sweet, clean, fresh type smell. This was lovely in the warmers. It did 2 days. Better performer than I expected because it smells a wee bit light on cold, but it did better than expected on performance. So let me see what I wrote down here. This was a while ago that I warmed this, but I remember really liking it. Okay, yes, this one smells like one of my childhood friends' houses. When you would walk into her house, you walked into the laundry room through the back door, and her house always smelled like this. So it was just very nostalgic that way. Clean, sweet laundry without being traditionally laundry-ish, yes. Not a floral fresh laundry at all. It is sweet. I can see where people say grapey, but it's more plummy to me. Not a candy sweet grape at all, or obviously grape at all. Very pleasant, the way you want a room to naturally smell, yes. Light, medium in intensity, but it went for 2 days. So 3 or 4 out of 10 in strength. So you'd walk into the room and it wouldn't like be like obviously apparent, but you'd walk in and be like, oh, it's just nice and clean and fresh in here. So that's kind of what I like in a bedroom scent, is to just walk in and have it be like, oh, like a fresh air, fresh breath type smell. We like this a lot. Yes, I will be probably clubbing this one. If not, I'll stock up on it. But this one will be one that we need more of, despite it being like a little kid Buzz Lightyear bar. we like this one. So let me try to describe this. It is clean and fresh, a little, like, definitely sweet. I don't get the notes. Like, what are the notes again? I can't say I get fizzy orange in any way. Black currant, maybe. This is not at all a tart or sour currant. Plum blossom, maybe. Sugared raspberry, not obviously raspberry in any way to my nose. I think I'm mostly getting the plum blossom and maybe the black currant, if anything, but I really liked this. Whatever it is, it's a clean, sweet, fresh, like laundry type scent. It's like the way your room smells when you open the windows on a spring day. Just kind of clean and sweet and refreshing. So like that a lot. That will be a keeper for us. That was a good one. I think most people would enjoy that. I would say bedrooms only for that one. I don't think it could do an open layout. Next up, we have Vanilla Walnut. This was the last one I warmed. This is a warm fragrance with roasted walnut and sweet vanilla bean. And yeah, this one is mostly vanilla. I would say like 90% vanilla with just, and I wouldn't even identify it as walnut. And it's not overly toasty. It says toasted walnut. I don't get like a burnt or toasty note at all, really. I get something that adds a bit of richness and depth to that vanilla. It's not obviously a nut. So I did the whole bar in my open layout and I put soft. It is mostly vanilla with just a hint of depth, must be the nut. Not identifiable as walnut. It is just a slightly richer classic vanilla scent. Not what I expected, really. It's a 4 to 10 in strength at peak, so on the lighter side for sure. Probably not open layout worthy in most homes, including my own. Lasted less than 24 hours total. So not as good of a performer as most Scentsy bars, but again, this is a vanilla. They tend to age well. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a toned, watered down butter pecan. Reminds me of that a little bit. So if you like butter pecan and miss it, vanilla walnut might be one to try and tuck away with for some age, to see if it gets better with age, because it kind of reminds me of that type of scent, which I really like. It just wasn't strong enough for me. So not overly strong, very pleasant, just you can hardly smell it. And it was one I found we went nose blind to a lot. So if you're out here in the space, you wouldn't really smell it after 20 minutes or so, even though you could technically still smell it. It's just you would go nose blind to it. So it's one of those scents. Some scents you go nose blind to really easy and some you don't. This was one that we went nose blind to quite quickly. And overall wasn't as strong as I was hoping for the open layout. This isn't a scent I would do in a bedroom. It's definitely an open layout scent for me, but not one that performs well enough to be one. So it has limited use in my home. I think if you have a layout that has a TV room or like an office or something like that, this might be a bar that you would use there. Yeah, but if you're into like bakery scents, or if you like a soft vanilla or like very classic kind of neutral scents, this is what I would call a neutral scent. I think this would be very company friendly if you're having people over. It's not going to offend anyone. So I do think this is a very useful scent in that way. It's not going to be so strong that you're hurting anyone's nose or breathing. And it's also not going to be offensive to anyone, I don't think. So probably a really good scent for company. It is a bar I'll get probably 1 or 2 more of to age and see how it does, but it's probably not one I need to club. But there is that one, Vanilla Walnut. Next up we have Caramel Sugar Cone. Caramel Sugar Cone is, let me see here, guilt-free gooey caramel, vanilla sugar cone, and a touch of malt. So gooey caramel, vanilla sugar cone, and malt. I swore when I was warming this that I was getting some kind of fruit note, probably a berry. And I smell it on cold too. It reads a strawberry to me, like a juicy, bright strawberry. I do get caramel. It is not a rich, dark caramel. It's a very light caramel. And I get strawberry. Like 100% I get strawberry. And I think I heard Liz Quinn say on cold that she got strawberry too. 100%. And I don't know, like I thought that would just go away on warm. It didn't. It was definitely apparent on warm as well. So on warm, this was actually a very good performer. In my open layout, I did the whole bar. It was like a 7 or 8 out of 10 in strength. Nice and strong. Not very long lasting. It was like, it started to really hit a wall around 10 hours. By 12 hours, I could no longer smell it. So it was very, very strong until about 10 hours. And then it just kind of went really down. And then by 12 hours, it was gone. It was good though. Like I would potentially club this because again, this one strikes me as a very good summer bakery. It's light, it's bright, it's not heavy, it's not spicy in any way. There's no spice here at all. If you are a person who doesn't tend to like caramel scents and the name caramel in here scares you, This is not a typical caramel scent. Caramel scents tend to be quite rich, quite buttery, quite deep, often have spice with them. This is very light and bright and sweet. There's nothing roasty or toasty or burnt about this at all. I would recommend trying this one. This one's really good and quite a bit different than anything we've had. So caramel sugar cone, we really liked. And again, I could see doing this with like Hug in a Mug and Strawberry Swirl to make like an ice cream cone type scent. I think that would be really fun for the summer. Yeah, this was a great performer. I wish the longevity was a bit better, but again, I change my wax out here every day anyways. So it was kind of like a morning to night one dayer, but it didn't go 24 hours by any means. So if you put it in the morning, it'll probably last till evening, but not much beyond that. And again, I leave my warmers going 24/7, so they never get turned off. But if you are a person who only keeps your warmers on a few hours a day, you'll get a couple days out of this. So yeah, really liked it. This one may be a clubber. It'll definitely be a stock upper though. Next up, we have Whipped Vanilla Pear. This one is a luxuriant caramel glaze tops baked pear and whipped vanilla. So caramel glaze, pear, and whipped vanilla. I did 2 cubes of this in my office. And yeah, this was nice. This one reminded me of a lighter, sweeter cousin to Caramel Pear Crisp. Caramel Pear Crisp was one that we had in Bring Back My Bar a couple years ago, and I actually clubbed it for a long time. I just took it out recently. This is a lighter version of that. Caramel Pear Crisp has a really rich, deep, saturated, caramely bakery tone. This one has all of the same notes with less of that rich brown sugar base. This is a bit more spring summer friendly and a little bit lighter in general. That one is like aggressively strong. Whipped Vanilla Pear was maybe a like 4 or 5 out of 10 at best in like a smaller room. So strength, it was maybe like average or slightly below. Longevity, it was definitely a one dayer. And I don't even know if it lasted 24 hours. I'm not sure because I wasn't in the office that full 24 hours. This one was at least 12 hours, but somewhere between 12 and 24, it did peter out and I'm not sure when. So it may have been just a little bit less than average in performance for duration and for strength, but very pleasant, very pleasant. I think if you miss Caramel Pear Crisp, you should definitely pick this up. This is a nice kind of transition scent, I think, from like fall or winter to spring, because it does have kind of those cozy caramely notes without any spice whatsoever. And it does have kind of a nice fruity pear note. And the pear here is like a baked pear. It's not like a green tart pear at all. This is a baked pear. Yeah, it's really nice. This is one I will probably get another bar or 2 of. I don't think it's one I'll club because I do have quite a stockpile of Caramel Pear Crisp still. But that is very pleasant. I can see why it's popular and I'm glad we have it back. So that is Whipped Vanilla Pear. I think bakery fans ought to try that one. And I think if you're a fruity fan or someone who likes pear, you should try that one. If you don't like pear, maybe skip it. Next up, we have the bar that's probably going to be the most controversial and probably the most disliked. This is Simply Patchouli. And this is Dive into the Rich Earthy Scent of Patchouli. Now, on cold, I didn't mind this. I thought this was all right. And yeah, I still do. It's not a favorite for me, but it's a kind of a grassy patchouli scent, and I don't hate it. It's fine. That being said, okay. So what I wrote down, I did 1 cube of this in the guest bathroom, which is my daughter's bathroom. So I wrote down grassy, earthy patchouli. Strikes me as vaguely unpleasant on warm. It was a medium 6 or 7 out of 10 in strength. It was throwing really far. This is a scent that goes far from the warmer. Some scents stay very close to the warmer. This one wandered. It wandered. So even though it was in the bathroom, it was all throughout the hallways. It was everywhere. This one lasted a couple days. So after the first day, this one kind of turned. So it went from kind of a grassy, earthy patchouli to quite a spicy, pungent patchouli. So my daughter walked into the bathroom on the second day, and I had noticed it had really turned too, and I was like, My daughter went into the bathroom, she's like, it smells like spicy green peppers in there. And I was like, kind of. So it ended up smelling very spicy and kind of pungent after a day. Like it started out kind of a nice grassy patch. Most people would be probably okay with that. The way it turned on the second day, you have to be a diehard patchouli fan to like that. And that was a little too far even for me, and I do like patchouli. I love Hendrix. I love Hendrix all the way through. patchouli does tend to last a while, so this one was quite long lasting, and it probably would have gone another full day or so. It probably would have gone 3 days. But I had to take it out on day 2 because it did go quite spicy, peppery, pungent. And none of us liked that phase. And it was, again, still throwing pretty far. So, very good performer. Going to be very long lasting, quite strong. But you really have to love patchouli for this one, I think. And I think most people aren't going to care for this one. I think it's going to have its crowd. If you're a diehard patchouli lover who just loves really earthy patchouli, this is one you got to try. And I would probably club it if you do love it, because I don't know if this one's going to be back. It's not for me, and I do tend to like patchouli. I think you have to like a very specific earthy type of patchouli to enjoy this one. And I think for most people, it's going to be a pass. But if you're one of those people who really likes a nice earthy patchouli, this is one. So I suggest you try it if that's the case. Very good performer. This is one I'm going to mix probably, or maybe even put in my bin to give away. It's not one that we can probably melt again in my home. And if I do, I'll just take it out after 24 hours so it doesn't get to that kind of spicy, peppery phase, as my daughter put it. So there is that one. Next up, we have Red Cedar and Sage. This is Run Free through Red Cedar, Sage, and Fresh Forest Greens. Now, this is a old bar of this. This is one I got from my friend Sarah in New Zealand. So this one I have has been sitting for around a year. So it is on the juicy side, as you can see. And this one does smell a bit different from my fresh bar. This one smells just more well blended and well balanced. So I think this one does benefit from sitting for a bit. My fresh bar smells a bit like hamster cage. This one does not. So Red Cedar, Sage, and Forest Greens. Yeah, so this one was nice. So this one I did 2 cubes in the office, and it was pleasant. It was a nice kind of, reminded me a little bit maybe of, oh, what's that one? Fearless by Nature, where it's kind of got like the foresty notes in the woods, but it's still kind of fresh and crisp. This one is not the same as Fearless by Nature. This is a little bit more woodsy than that, but still that kind of same feel. Yeah, it was kind of, there's a certain freshness to this bar. It's almost like a little bit, I don't want to say shower gelish, but a little tiny bit masculine without being too masculine. It's not cologne in any way. It's not even like a men's body care product, really. It's just a bit of a cool, crisp note that kind of adds to the cedar notes here. It was very, very pretty. I would say maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10 in strength. So the nice thing about this is that sometimes these woodsy type scents can be very, very overpowering. This one was not. So I think you could probably do this in an open layout. You'd probably want to use the whole bar. I think you could though. And I think it would be very nice. Yeah, this one smells like a beautiful January, February type scent. Perfect for winter when it's not really the holidays. Very nice, fresh, crisp forest without being pine. No pine here. This is cedar with just some crisp sage, just fresh and lovely and woodsy. So very, very nice. Performance on this one was, again, like I said, maybe an average strength, like 5 out of 10, medium. And then longevity was 1 day. I expected this to go longer because sometimes cedar will be one of those ones that goes for a while. This one was a 1-dayer though, so 24 hours, and this one was finished, but very, very nice. I don't reach for this type of scent all that often, but I really liked this. So I do still have this much and a full bar left, so I'll probably be okay with what I've got. But if you like those kind of like woodsy scents, especially for like January at this time of year, definitely pick this one up. I think it's worth getting. Red Cedar and Sage. Next up, we have Twilight with the red wax and the black cover. This one is a lovely, sophisticated scent infused with soft, romantic florals and ocean air. So there's this one. This one, my husband and I both thought, and I actually thought this, and then my husband said it without me even saying anything. He's like, this smells like those soaps from like the 90s in bathrooms, like the seashell and the rose soaps. It totally does. This smells like those like scents, those little soaps that would come in like rose and seashell shapes that you'd put in like a dish on the back of your sink. Yeah. So this one has a rose tone to it to my nose, for sure. I'm not sure what other florals might be in here, but I'm smelling rose for sure. Maybe jasmine, maybe lily too. I could see lily being in there. Smells the same on cold as it does on warm, maybe more floral. I do get some fresh aquatic notes in this on cold that weren't as apparent on warm. I would say medium to strong, so 7 out of 10, so above an average scent and strength. Not for me personally, but for folks who like floral with a fresh twist and are okay with rose, this one might be worth getting as it is a good performer. It did last 2 days. I did 1 cube in my laundry room. It went for 2 days at like a 7 out of 10 in strength. So good performer. I do think you have to like fairly heady florals to like this one. This one would be a headache in a bar if I tried to warm this in my bedroom or something. So this one will be a bathroom and laundry room melt for me because I don't mind it too much if it's just kind of an in and out scent for me. If I'm just going in for a few minutes to smell it and then leaving the room. But I couldn't do this to smell constantly. This would be a headache bar for me. But if you like those kind of like very heady, very like unapologetically floral florals, this is one of them. And yeah, it's got a nice bit of a fresh tone to it that a lot of florals don't have. So I do get the appeal here for sure. It has almost like an aquatic scent to it, which is actually really unexpected and makes it a little bit different. So if you like florals and you like the idea of a bit of a fresh twist with that, this is quite nice. So that is Twilight. It's not going to be a repurchase for me. It's not one I'll probably melt a whole lot of. But I can see the appeal. I can see how some folks will really like this. And it was a very good performer. Next up we have one I warmed quite some time ago. This is Toasted Apple Butter. This one is creamy butter blended with ripe apples, accented with rich spices. So creamy butter, ripe apples, and rich spices. This one was really nice. I liked this one quite a bit. It wasn't as appley as I expected. Yeah. So on cold, I feel like I got more apple from this. On warm, my notes were it was a medium strength. In my open layout, did the whole bar. Medium strength, I would say 5 or 6 out of 10. Changed a lot on warm. So that apple really kind of dissipated. It was more of a toasty bakery scent. Bakery cinnamon was the main note. It was not a red hot cinnamon. It was like a bakery powdered cinnamon. That was the main note. So that was a bit different than the cold sniff. And that's kind of what it was. It was kind of a nice medium to solid, maybe slightly better than medium, like 6 out of 10. It was a 24-hour scent and a solid 24 hours. Like it could have maybe gone a few hours longer even, but I usually change my wax daily. So solid 24 hours and a little bit better than average in strength. So this was a good performer, slightly better than average performer. Just kind of a nice solid cozy bakery scent, cozy bakery spice scent. You do have to like spice for this one. And if you're hoping for a lot of apple, this is not it. I think you could do a lot with this one if you wanted to mix this with like apple butter frosting or with baked apple pie or Dutch apple bread. I think those would all be really good mixes. Yeah, and I will pick up more of this. I did like it quite a bit. It just wasn't as appley as I hoped. So I am going to pick up maybe 2 or 3 bars of this to mix and play with, but it's probably not going to be a clubber for me. But I did really enjoy it. And I think if you like spicy bakery, this one is a must try. So that is Toasted Apple Butter. Next up we have Cinnamint. This one is warm earthy cinnamon and with spices melded with a cool burst of crisp peppermint. So cinnamon and peppermint. This one I did 2 cubes in the office the other day, and I was in there quite a bit that day. Medium strength, maybe better. Maybe like more like a 6 or 7 out of 10 in strength. Nice and well balanced. Feels Christmassy without being too much. Would mix well with wintry scents, would be nice in the winter as well. I'm getting mint and cinnamon equally. Very pleasant and homey. We'll stock up on this. Now after I wrote that little blurb, my husband came into the office and he was like, oh my gosh, and was like heaving. And I was like, what? And he hated this. And that is so funny because this was his absolute favorite one on cold. On cold, this was by far his favorite of the 25. And I was like, you love this on cold. And he was like, it is horrific. It smells like a hockey arena. And I was like, a hockey arena? What? But he thought it smelled like a hockey arena. I don't get that in any way. I don't know what a hockey arena smells like. I'm not very sporty. I think it smells like cinnamon and mint. I don't know. I love it. Maybe he thinks it smells like muscle rub. I don't know. But I loved it. I thought it was wonderful. I thought it was homey and cozy and not too much, but still like very, like just kind of laid back and understated while still being very wintry and comforting. I loved it. And I thought it was a really good performer. He did not care for it at all. So I thought this would be an open layout warm for me probably. Like this is one I would love to warm in my open layout, but because my husband dislikes it so intensely, I will not get more. For my daughter and my husband, if they absolutely hate a scent, I won't get more. They live here too. So if they absolutely hate something, I just don't get more. But I really like this one. So I'll warm this in my office where no one else really goes. But I won't get more. But I think if you like spicy scents or if you like cinnamon or mint, you got to try this. It's so good. It is a great one. Yeah, this is what I kind of like. If you liked Christmas Cottage Mint, it's kind of along that line. I like this better though. What else is this like? There was another one kind of like this, but I like this the best of all. Like, as far as the cinnamon mint scents go, this has been my favorite. I really enjoy it. Now, my husband really liked Christmas Cottage Mint, which is very similar to this to my nose. He liked that a lot, but he did not like this. So I think they're pretty similar, but I prefer this slightly. It's a bit stronger to my nose. But yeah, the Cinnamint was a winner for me, but it's going to be polarizing probably. Yeah, I liked it, and I think most people probably would. So there is Cinnamint. Next up, we have Falling Leaves. This one is an earthy blend of clove, cinnamon, and patchouli. So clove, cinnamon, and patchouli. Now this one, again, went through some stages. Oh, I love this one. On cold, this one is perfection. And on warm, it was for a while too. Okay, Falling Leaves. So this was a strong 8. Very, very strong scent. I did 2 cubes in my office. It was very strong. Easy open layout worthy bar. This would be very open layout worthy for pretty much any house, I think. So the thing was, this went almost musty on warm. Reminded me a bit of Fall Feelin' minus the fruit notes. So spicy, crunchy, and dry. Fall Feelin' is a new catalog scent for fall and winter. Most people are loving that scent. To me, it reads just a little bit musty, and this does too on warm. This reminds me a bit of Fall Feelin'. Has a bit of a funk to it, probably the patchouli. Reminds me a bit of Vanilla Suede also, and I love Vanilla Suede. Strong, spicy, earthy, and deep. Would probably mix really well with an apple scent. I think Johnny Appleseed or anything like that would be amazing with this. 2 days at a very solid, very good strength. So much better performer than average. 2 days at a strong strength. And not a bad scent. Like when I say musty, I don't mean like bad. I mean like earthy, dead leaf type scent, which is kind of what you'd expect from Falling Leaves. Yeah, and I do think this would mix very well with an apple scent. On warm, it was a little bit too dry and crunchy for me as far as dry, crunchy scents go, which is what you like in a leaf scent. A little too much for me though. I would definitely mix it with an apple to sweeten it up next time, and do maybe like Falling Apples or Johnny Appleseed with this. But I think I might need more of this. I think I might grab another bar. This one is a very good performer and very pleasant actually too. I think if you like Vanilla Suede, or if you like Angel by Terry Mugler, you should probably get Falling Leaves. I do think there is patchouli in here. And on cold, I would have said, I think you'll be okay even if you don't like patchouli. But on warm, I think you do have to like patchouli, especially that second day. I don't know if you have to love patchouli, but I think you do need to be able to tolerate patchouli to enjoy the scent, especially on day 2. There is a definite noticeable patchouli note here. It's not overpowering. It's nothing like simply patchouli at all. But it is patchouli. So there's that one. I really like it. I'll probably get more. Not a club bar for me, but I do quite enjoy it. If you like Vanilla Suede, if you like Terry Mugler Angel, grab some Falling Leaves. Yeah, that's a good one. Great performer. Next up here we have Lavender Vanilla. This one is a relaxing mix of hillside lavender, vanilla beans, orange zest, and patchouli. White wax, purple front. So lavender, vanilla bean, orange zest, and patchouli. Now this one I did in the, where did I do this? Bathroom, in our bathroom. In our ensuite I did 1 cube. Now this one was really nice. This one is not at all like a lavender vanilla like you'd expect. Like when you think lavender vanilla, this isn't it. Lavender vanilla to my nose is just lavender and vanilla. This has lots more going on. And again here, the patchouli is noticeable. There is a definite earthiness to this one. And I do think you have to be able to tolerate patchouli to enjoy this one. This reminded me a lot on warm to one that we've had before. There was one called Pineapple Coconut Vanilla a while ago. I think it was in the catalog even for a time. Pineapple Coconut Vanilla sounds like it would be a very fruity scent, right? It had a fig note. I think it was called Blue Fig in the notes, and that made it very earthy. This smells a lot to my nose on warm, like Pineapple Coconut Vanilla, with that kind of earthy fig note. This one has the patchouli instead, but to my note, they read very similar. Very similar kind of powdery, lavender, earthy type scents. It's pleasant. I don't get any orange zest on cold or warm. I do get lavender on warm. Vanilla is very, very backseat. I'm getting lavender, patchouli, and almost like a fig note on warm. Yeah, it's pleasant. It performed very well. It's a little bit on the soapy side, even a little bit, which for a bathroom works beautifully. It's almost like a bit of a soapy lavender. It's pleasant. It's not what you would expect though from looking at Lavender Vanilla. This one did go for 2, maybe 3 days, definitely 2, maybe 3. And I would say a 6 or 7 out of 10 in strength. So for a bathroom scent, this is exactly what I look for. In a bathroom scent, I want one that I don't have to change every day. I want one that I can just put in and have it go for days and just kind of make the air in the bathroom smell lovely. And that's what this did. So for a bathroom scent, I think it's well worth it. I think it would be nice in a bedroom as well. I think you could even do this in like a little reading area or like a living room and have it be very pretty. Yeah, so it's not like it's light. It's not light at all. It's on the strong side, but I do think it reads a little soapy, and I think it's got quite a bit of earthiness to it from that patchouli and possibly even a hidden fig note in here. But it is quite earthy. I think you need to like a bit more depth to your scents. This is not like a light, powdery lavender vanilla by any means. This is a bit heavier. So there is that one. Good performer. Not one I'll repurchase personally. I prefer a lighter, sweeter lavender vanilla scent. And like I said, I'm not really getting any vanilla here to speak of at all. I like some sweetness to my lavender, and this isn't it. It's fine. It's pleasant. I'll happily use the rest of this, but it's not a repurchase for me. But I think for a lot of people, this will be a winner. If you like a kind of more classic soapy lavender, this will be one to try. Next up, we have Strawberry Sweetie. This one is a fruity delight of strawberries sprinkled with sugar and vanilla. And it's going to be hard to not like this one. I think this is pretty widely appealing. So I did 2 cubes of this in my daughter's bedroom. This was wonderful. Oh, yeah, this was so good. This is a sweet, juicy candy strawberry. When I compare it to other strawberries, it is sweeter than sugared strawberry, which is in our spring summer catalog typically. We'll probably see it back this spring. This is sweeter than that. Sugared strawberry has a lemon note to it that makes it kind of airy and watery. This one does not have that. This is a bit more saturated. Compared to Strawberry Swirl is a very creamy, milky strawberry. This is nothing like that. This is a still fairly light, still fairly bright, sweet candy strawberry without veering into hard candy. It's not really a hard candy, but it is candied. I would say like maybe a strawberry gummy with a sugar coating. That's what it smells like to me. If you took like a gummy candy with a strawberry flavor and like rolled it in sugar, that's what this would smell like. It's very nice. And I think this one just screams like it wants to be mixed for summer mixes. With even like mint fields, with lemon scents. I'm thinking like, what's the one? Lemon Sorbet from the spring summer catalog. Lemon Sorbet with this one would be fantastic. Even like Tangerine Creamsicle with this one would be amazing. This one screams like it wants summer mixes. I really like this one. It was beautiful on its own too. I would say average strength, like a 5 out of 10, which makes it nice for mixing because it's not going to be too strong or too light for a mix. Nice average, and like a 24-hour. It wasn't super long lasting. It was a 24-hour. So it wasn't longer lasting than usual. It was a very average performer all around. But the scent appeal here was through the roof. We loved this one. My daughter loves strawberry scents. She loved it. So this one is one I might club because we really, really liked this one. So that was a winner. Strawberry Sweetie. I highly recommend if you like strawberry or candy or fruity scents. Really, really good. Next, we have lots of lavender. This one is a calming blend of chamomile and lavender. Now, this one I warmed quite some time ago. This was one of the first ones I warmed. So lots of lavender. It's purple wax with a green front. I doubled the wax and it was a 4 or 5 out of 10 in strength. So it was about an average strength with double the wax. You did have to double the wax to get there. It was kind of a vegetal soft green scent. Not a lot of lavender here. More chamomile. It reminds me a lot of the Mandalorian, Air of Adventure, or of Huckleberry Sage, but less sweet than either of those. It's kind of light green, soft and clean. Pretty bedroom scent. This one is very much a background scent, but smells like the room might naturally smell when it's clean with a bit of sweet spring air. It lasted 18 hours, so not even a full day with double the wax. So less longevity than average. And I would say less strength than average, but you got to a medium if you doubled the wax. And sometimes I don't mind doing that. Yeah, I would say this was comparable to like Air of Adventure from the Star Wars collection or to Huckleberry Sage. I think both of those are also light scents, and both of those are ones that I double the wax on as well. Those are sweeter and both of them are stronger than this one. Now, I don't know if this will get stronger with age or not. I'm not sure. But I think given the chance, like I think this is worth trying because I really do like this one. Like I like this one quite a lot. And I may get another bar of it to tuck away and see if it ages well. but I think I prefer the sweetness of Air of Adventure from the Star Wars collection, and I prefer Huckleberry Sage too. So I think I will stick with those because I have both of those in my club. So I think I'll personally stick with those. But I think this is worth trying, especially if you like a nice light bedroom scent. If you're headache prone, or if you just prefer lighter scents in your bedroom in general, this is one I would recommend. It is probably the lightest of all of these 25 scents. It's one of the lightest Scentsy scents I've ever smelled, honestly. It's very light. So yeah, I think if you didn't double the wax, it would be more like a 2 out of 10 and you wouldn't be able to smell it. But if you double the wax, you get to somewhere approaching medium. And it was very pretty, just very light. This one did have a bit of more of a, like, I feel like with the other two I compared it to, those do not have the same vegetal tone. This had like a vegetal green, crisp greens tone. Not the same as any other green scent that I've smelled from Scentsy. It wasn't like dewy greens or like any of the other greens that Scentsy uses. This was just kind of like a different type of green scent, and I preferred it in this. I liked this quite a bit. Yeah, this was very nice. I'm excited to warm this again. I really did enjoy this, and I will pick up more. The performance isn't awesome. So that is lots of lavender. I did really like it. I struggled with performance, and I think there's other ones in my club that I prefer, but very, very nice. I think worth picking up as a bedroom scent. Do not try to warm this in an open layout or any large space. It will not do it. If you have very high ceilings or a very large space, just don't. It won't do it. But for a smaller or average size room, that's a good one. Next we have Bananas. Bananas. A delicious tropical banana mixed with coconut milk and island vanilla, reminiscent of banana flavored taffy. Now this one went through stages as well. I put this in my daughter's room, 2 cubes, and she came in and was like, "Mom, my bedroom smells like bananas." And I was like, "Yeah, it does." She's like, I'm like, "Do you like it?" And she's like, "It's not my favorite." And I was like, fair enough, not my favorite either. But yeah, it's very, very banana taffy when it's on warm at first. So she wasn't a fan, but I'm like, "Do you want me to change it for you?" And she's like, "No, it's okay for now." And I was like, okay. I'm like, "If you don't like it before bed, we'll change it." So she stuck it out and she didn't mind it. So this one did change though. So for the first few hours, this was like aggressively banana taffy. I would say the same banana note from like Bananarama. If you remember Bananarama from years ago, same banana note, but this one, because of the other stuff in here, was more saturated, a bit juicier. Bananarama was kind of a flat banana candy scent. This one has some juiciness and some vibrance to it that one doesn't have. So I think I prefer this one. After a few hours though, the kind of like banana candy scent did die down, and some of that coconut milk really came forward. So on warm, I will say the coconut milk came out quite a bit more than it does on cold. And after a few hours, it really, really balanced. Like, it was actually very nice. It smelled like a pina colada. It was wonderful. And then she actually liked it and didn't want me to change it. So it stayed in. Yeah, and then by the second day, like the next morning, this was really nice. It was kind of, again, like pina colada. It was lovely. You got a lot of coconut milk. And by the second day, I got mostly coconut milk with just a hint of like banana, but it almost read as like a pineapple-y banana. It was really nice. So yeah, it kind of reminded me a little bit of like coconut daiquiri the second day, not the first day. The first day was banana taffy, but the second day I almost got something a little bit similar to like coconut daiquiri from years ago. So I liked it the second day, so did she. So this was really nice. It did go for 2 days, which is a lot longer than I expected this one to go. So 2 cubes in her bedroom, 2 days, and I would say like a 6 or 7 out of 10 in strength. So good strength, good performer, better than I would have expected for a banana candy scent for performance, because I remember Bananarama being a pretty light scent and a pretty short duration. This was a very good performer. So if you like a banana scent and you don't mind some coconut in there, or you want a kind of summery pina colada scent and you can tolerate some like a few hours of really hardcore banana, this is worth picking up. So I think this would also be really fun for summer mixes. My husband liked this one as well. I think you could do a lot with this in summer mixes. It's really good on its own. Yeah, not a bad one at all. So this one was kind of a surprise hit. I don't know if we'll get more. We might get another bar, but it was fun, worth trying. And I think if you are okay with banana scents, you're gonna like this. If you're not okay in any way with banana candy scents, you're not gonna like this. But I think if you're okay with banana candy scents and then are okay with coconut, this is worth picking up. So there's that one. Next up we have Twitter Pated, the Bambi scent, This is spring is in the air and it's waiting to sweep you off your feet. In a swirl of sun-kissed Meyer lemon, morning dewdrops, and lush wild moss. So this one has really, really cute label art, like some of the cutest. So there's that. I did 1 cube of this in each of our bathrooms. There's that. This one was on warm. This was a while ago. Let me get my notes. I remember liking it as a bathroom scent. Here we go. Twitter pated. So my husband actually commented on this one that he really, really liked this one. And he does tend to like those green type scents. This was a 6 out of 10 in strength, lasted for 2 days, and was fresh and green with some lemon. That's what you can say about this one. It's fresh and green with lemon. It's kind of like one of those classic Scentsy green scents. If you like those, you're gonna like this. I got mostly the fresh greens with a bit of lemon, adding some brightness. The dewdrops, I will say, came out more day 2. Yeah, I feel like on day 2, on the first day, you got a lot of that green, like just greens, straight up greens with a bit of lemon to brighten it. Day 2, the greens backed off just a little bit, and some of that dewdrop note came out more, and that was really nice. I liked that stage a lot better. It was okay to me. It wasn't one I would repurchase, but my husband really, really liked it. So I may get another bar for him. We'll see. But nice. I think if you like green type scents, you're going to love this. It was a decent performer. I think it'd be nice for bedrooms as well, especially in the springtime as we go into spring. Probably worth picking up if you want a nice spring scent. So there's that one. Next up, we have Amaretto. This is an almond scented fragrance sweetened with honey and spice. So this one we did in my daughter's bedroom, 2 cubes. She loved this one. So to my nose, this one smelled on cold, kind of like almond extract. Yeah, it does. To my nose, it smells like almond extract on cold. On warm, it did at first too, and then it changed. This is actually really nice on warm. So it was a 7 out of 10 in strength, but a 1-dayer. So better than average strength, average duration. So not a bad performer overall. My family thought it smelled like cookies. Amelia loved it in her room. It softened over time and I liked it better then. I feel like after some time, this one, maybe after a few hours, the almond extract toned down just a little bit and blended with that honey and spice note better. I can't say I ever really got spices from this, but I do feel like the honey kind of melded better and it smelled more like a baked good or like a cookie or something without having like a particular flour or sugar note. There was no like butter, flour, or sugar of a cookie here, but it did smell vaguely cookie-ish without being specifically cookie-ish, if that makes any sense. It was reminiscent of cookies without being cookies. So it was really nice. After a few hours, my daughter and husband loved it from the beginning. Quite nice. I think if you like almond scents or almond extract scents, you're going to love this. This is one of the things that's going to be really popular. I'm not a big almond person as far as like almond scents go, so I don't love this like other people will. But I think most people are going to really, really like this. I think this will be a hit of the Bring Back My Bar season and quite a good performer. So that's a good one. Awakening. This one is, let's see here. Awakening is invigorate your senses with an unexpected harmony of white peach and vanilla, pineapple and amber. So a few different things going on there. And I remember thinking when this was going on, I didn't really get any of the specific notes in this. It was just kind of vaguely perfumey and fresh. So I did this in bathrooms, 1 in each bathroom, and it was a light 2 or 3 out of 10 in strength. You could hardly smell it. One of the lighter ones of the bunch. Fresh and bright. You can't smell it at all in the guest bathroom, but you can smell it in our bathroom. Very light in both rooms. Hard to discern the scent notes, just fresh and bright and very light. Got 2 days out of it though, and towards the very end of the warm I did get some peach. So that's what I had down for notes on that. And yeah, you do get some like almost citrusiness of this on cold. It is very light and soft, a little bit perfumey. But again, on warm, it was just kind of vaguely bright and sweet and light. And towards the end, you got peach. Very light. I would say if you're going to do this in a bedroom, double your wax and see how it does then. And very small spaces. I would not even attempt a larger bedroom or a larger space. I would say small rooms only and double your wax on this one. But very pretty spring-like scent. It is very, very pretty. Very springy. Reads perfectly for like February, maybe into March. Beautiful, but very light. This is one I may get one more of. It's not a good performer in my home, but I think I do want to try this in the bedroom with double the wax and see how it does. Sometimes that's the key. There are a few scents I can think of where if you only do the normal amount of wax, you're going to get nothing from it and it's going to be a total dud. But if you double the wax, you get more than double the payoff. Some scents are like that, where if you double the wax, it's just more than the sum of its parts and it just does a lot better than it should for being double. So doubling the wax will give you like 3 times the scent payoff. And so maybe I'll try that in the bedroom and see how it does. If it does better that way, I may get another bar because I do really enjoy the scent. It's a very pretty scent. So if you like, again, a lighter scent, you're headache prone, that sort of thing, this might be a good bedroom scent for you, and that is Awakening. Next here we have Cranberry Mango. This one is a melange of tropical mango, cozy cranberry, and spicy pineapple. So mango, cranberry, and pineapple. This one I did 2 cubes in my daughter's bedroom, and we love this one. I really like this on cold too. I do get pineapple, I do get mango, and I do get cranberry, specifically all 3 of those. I don't really get spicy pineapple on warm or on cold. I get like a sweet, wonderful pineapple. So this one in my daughter's room reads as very like festive and celebratory. It's not a specifically like New Year's Eve scent, but it smells like it belongs on New Year's Eve or a birthday party. It belongs to a celebration, this scent. It smells celebratory, if that makes sense. I don't know how else to describe it. Could be good for summer or winter. It's sweet and fruity, and the mango with the cranberry and pineapple is unexpected and unique, but also somehow familiar and lovely. It is a 7 out of 10 in strength, lasted 24 hours, and this one will probably be a clubber. This one I think you could warm any time of year. This one is just happy. It's just a bright, happy scent. It smells festive. It smells celebratory. It doesn't smell Christmassy, nor does it smell summery. It just smells festive and celebratory. I think anytime you're like in a mood to celebrate something, this would be a great bar to pop in. It's just good. It's just good. That's great. That's a good one. We need more of that. So that's going to be a club one for me. Great performer as well. Average duration, but better than average strength. So really good performer. Highly recommend if you like fruity scents. I think most people will enjoy this one. That is Cranberry Mango. Next up, we have Lonicera. This one was voted back for a Scentsy consultant who had a family member who had a buddy with the scent pack in this scent, and he had passed away. So this was like a memory attached scent for them. So we brought it back. This one is, let me see the scent notes here. This one is taste the sweet nectar from a honeysuckle trumpet as warm amber and patchouli hover above a spring garden. Now this one with patchouli made me nervous with the honeysuckle too. This was beautiful. So this is a one that I did, where did I do this? Was it bathrooms? I think I did this in a guest bathroom and in the laundry room. So one of each. So this is a soft, gentle spring floral. It smelled like a fancy baby powder without being powdery, if that makes sense. Gentle and soft, clean, and just a wee bit powdery. 4 to 5 out of 10 in strength. So like a medium to slightly lighter than average medium. And like a 24-hour scent. So around an average performer, about average. And I don't typically go for floral scents at all. But this was really pretty. Like really pretty. This was my daughter's bedroom. That was my daughter's bedroom. So I didn't do this in the bathroom and laundry room. That was a different scent. This one I did in my daughter's bedroom, and it was very pretty. I don't get patchouli here, so don't let the patchouli scare you. I don't smell it in here. I smell almost like a peony or like a soft honeysuckle. It's not an aggressive honeysuckle at all. It's a very light, soft, powdery scent. Very feminine, very soft, very pretty. I don't see this one being a headache inducer for most people if you're scent sensitive. It smells like it should be a light performer, but in my daughter's room, it was actually more like a 4 or 5 out of 10 without ever being in your face. Sometimes florals can be very overpowering very easily. This one was not. It was just soft and lovely and background while still being very smellable. So I really liked that one. I'll probably purchase more of this actually. I actually really liked it. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Sugar Blossom from the Spring Summer catalog last year. That was a new release. And I was so mad at Sugar Blossoms because it was in the bakery category and it's a floral scent, and I was so mad that it was in the bakery category taking up space. It was a pretty floral, a pretty sweet floral, but it wasn't bakery. This is, again, a pretty sweet floral without being bakery and it's just kind of soft. It's less sweet than Sugar Blossom was, but it's just a pretty soft spring floral. I think if you're at all okay with floral, get this one for spring. It is a March, April scent. It is beautiful. So highly recommend Lonicera. Grab yourself a bar. It's a good one. Next up, we have Everything Nice. This one is sugar and spice and everything nice. Deep caramel and swirls of butter with roasted pumpkin and glazed pecans. So caramel, butter, roasted pumpkin, and pecans. This one is buttery. I think you do have to be okay with those very buttery caramel scents for this one. I am. My husband is not so much. So he did not care for this one. He thought it was kind of overpowering. I really liked it. I thought it was about a 7 out of 10 in strength in the open layout. Did the whole bar. And it was a one-dayer, but it was a good one day. Like 24 hours. On warm, I definitely got the same squashy pumpkin note I get from Forever Fall. Same squashy pumpkin, but it was much more balanced with more bakery. So where in Forever Fall, I get a lot of squashy pumpkin with just a little bit of spice, and that's about it. This one had caramel, it had nuts, it had all kinds of other stuff in there to balance that squashy pumpkin, and it was really nice. I liked it a lot. I think this would be great for mixing with like white pumpkin and driftwood. I might actually have to try that here soon. I'm going to get more of this for sure. I loved it. I can't decide whether I'll replace Forever Fall with this one in my club, because I can't keep them both. They're pretty similar. I think this one is better balanced than Forever Fall, but I think Forever Fall is stronger, potentially. I think they're similar performance. I think Forever Fall is a little bit stronger. This was very nice though. More going on, a bit better balanced. And I think if you like Forever Fall, or if you found Forever Fall just a bit too much, this would be one to try. Everything Nice. If you like fall bakery, you have to try this. If you like fall bakery, this one is a must try. Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. I think you do have to like bakery and like buttery bakery to enjoy this. It's not overly spicy. It's a good one. Everything Nice. And then there's a couple here that I know I don't have the clamshells for, but we haven't talked about yet. Where are they? Frosted Ginger Cookie. That was the first one I melted after I got my Bring Back My Bar set. Frosted Ginger Cookie, I don't have the clam here for, but that was by far my favorite of the 25. Loved it on cold, loved it on warm. That one is chewy brown sugar cookie spiked with warming ginger and fragrant vanilla. That was great. It was 24 hours, so not overly long lasting. It was like an average duration. And I would say like a 7 out of 10. I would say it dipped pretty significantly around the 12-hour mark, maybe even the 10-hour mark, but it started at like a 7 and went to like a 4 or 5 around the 10 or 12-hour mark. It was so good. Like zingy ginger. It was so good. It made me bake cookies. And that never happens. I'm not much of a baker, but I baked cookies for that one. That one was good. So I baked some soft ginger cookies. I posted a picture on Instagram. That was a baking day. You did get some frosting to it. It was a sweet cookie. Zingy ginger was really, really lovely. Very delicious. I think you can't go wrong with frosted ginger cookie. It's so different than anything I've ever smelled. Like I've never smelled anything like that one. So unique. That one's going to be a club bar for me forever. Love, love, love. Cannot get enough of that one. Cannot recommend enough. Let's see what else here. Peony Petals. So Peony Petals is peony and rose petals dance on a soft breeze. The rose petals here scared me because I do not do well with rose. It tends to give me a headache. This was beautiful. Peony Petals is one I'm going to pick up more of, and I don't pick up extra floral bars very often because I don't reach out for a lot of florals, but Peony Petals was beautiful, and peonies are one of my favorite flowers. It was soft. It smelled like a sweet, authentic peony. I did not get rose from it. I will say it was quite light. I did a cube of it in my guest bathroom and a cube of it in our laundry room, and it was quite light. I would say like a 3 out of 10. It wasn't even a 4. It was a 3 out of 10 in strength, so very light, and a 1 dayer. So I would double the wax if you're going to do it in a bedroom or something, but it was so pretty. Like just a sweet, beautiful, soft, authentic peony scent. I really enjoyed it, and I'll get more of that one. If you're at all okay with floral, I would highly recommend Peony Petals and Lonicera. Those were both really, really nice florals. If you're into a headier, stronger floral, Twilight would be your one. But if you're only okay with like lighter, softer spring florals, Peony Petals and Lonicera. And that's all of them. that is all 25. So we are done. I thought I would give some final thoughts on open layout worthy bars. If you're someone who has very high ceilings or a very open space and you only want the really best performers, here are the ones I would suggest. Amaretto would do it. Bananas, bananas might do it. Blood orange spice would probably do it. Cinnamint would do it. Cranberry mango would do it. Frosted ginger cookie I think could handle it. Let's see here. Simply Patchouli would definitely do it if you're into patchouli. Twilight would do it. Toasted apple butter might. And caramel sugar cone was a deceptively strong performer as well. I think it would do most open layouts. So there's those. The lightest ones, if you're scent sensitive or if you're having company over, or you just want lighter scents for a particular space, here's the ones I would recommend. Awakening. Lonicera, Peony Petals, lots of lavender, and maybe Strawberry Sweetie. Maybe To Infinity and Beyond. Those are kind of the lighter ones, or the company-friendly lighter scents. So there's those. As far as my personal favorites, if I had to build you a 6-pack of ones that I think are the best, so if I had to do the 6, Blood Orange Spice, Cranberry Mango, Buzz Lightyear To Infinity and Beyond, Frosted Ginger Cookie, Toasted Apple Butter, and Strawberry Sweetie would be my 6-pack recommendation. But I really, really love, for spring, Lonicera and Peony Petals and lots of lavender. Those 3 are beautiful. All 3 are on the lighter side, but for spring, perfect. Yeah, okay. Those are what I would suggest. They're mostly pretty good. The only one I would really hesitate on, I would hesitate to recommend Simply Patchouli, only because I don't think most people are going to enjoy that one. But I do think if you like patchouli, that is going to be a very authentic, unapologetic, not messing around, beating around the bush patchouli. That is not, they're not trying to people please with that one. That one is earthy, deep, strong patchouli. And so often they try to kind of make it more palatable to more people. This one is just straight up patchouli. So there will be a portion of people who love that one, and for those people, hooray. But I do think most people are going to struggle with that one. So that is the only one I would really hesitate to recommend. It's a fantastic performer. But I would hesitate to recommend it to the average person, unless you love patchouli. Other than that, the only one I would give pause to would be Crazy Coconut. I think it's a very specific type of coconut, and I think you have to like a very specific type of scent to enjoy that one. And for me, it just didn't blend well. But that was just me and my daughter as well. But I think there, again, will be certain people who really like that one, just not for me. But the rest are pretty darn good. Like, pretty good. It's a good round, you guys. So you can't go wrong. January 1st, those are available. If you've warmed any of these, I would love to hear your thoughts below as well. So put your experiences down in the comments below so we can learn from each other. Sometimes having lots of opinions is better than one. So put your experiences down below so we can all kind of share opinions and thoughts. And often, house matters. I've had so many customers who are like, well, this one did really well in my house. I'm like, wow, that one did not do well in my house at all. Or vice versa. This one, I can't smell it at all. Where in my house, that one's a boomer. So it totally depends on the space, the climate, the nose, everything else. So my experiences may not be your experiences. Watch lots of videos, get lots of opinions, and make your decisions that way. So thank you so much for watching. I would love to know which ones you're most excited for and what your experiences below have been. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.